Camera number 318 of 365 is the Minolta XG2. I've been doing I've done a couple of these XG series cameras, and I must say I really enjoy using them. They do have a problem sometimes with internal capacitors going and making the camera non-functional, but I've been very fortunate, I must say, with this series of cameras. So it features the Minolta bayonet mount, and we take the lens off by pressing the lens release. And on this occasion I've got the Minolta MD Rocker 50mm 1.7 lens, which I'll probably use. The camera does require batteries to operate, so there are two LR44 batteries housed in the battery compartment here, and we can test the batteries. There's on the top here, battery check, and a little red light illuminates, so hopefully, there we go, so the batteries are good. So on the top plate we have aperture priority mode, which is the camera's native mode. So when we put a lens on, we choose the aperture, and the camera responds by setting the shutter speed. The shutter speeds are indicated on the right hand side here through the viewfinder. Quite a bright viewfinder, not the biggest, brightest one. There is a bit of a mark down the middle as well of this particular version, probably related to this blackness here, I think, but still usable. And so our aperture priority mode, and then we could go into manual mode, or if we so desire, and use our shutter speeds. Go from 1/1000th of a second down to B. Now I do seem to have a problem here. There only seems to sound as though there's only one shutter speed, whatever I choose. So whether there's an issue, I can't even get bulb for some reason. So I'm going to have to use it in aperture priority mode, and I think I might have to just check that the exposure is correct if I have the opportunity to. We have exposure compensation around the collar, so if we're in aperture priority mode, we have to unlock the dial with this button and point the A to the plus or -2, and then the camera does that compensation. Our film advance and film counter, an indication in the window little here that our film has advanced, which is nice. And then, as I say, battery check on, off, and self-timer mode there. Hot shoe, and that's pretty much it. Memo. We take our film, or put our film in and out of the camera by lifting the film crank. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how to view this camera, because it does seem to, the shutter speed did seem to change a bit. Not sure. Make sure perhaps that it's a sunny day when I use this camera. Might be worth just checking if it is sort of 1/100th of a second. But certainly the camera works according to the battery check here. But I'm just a bit suspicious of this. There is a cable release and hot shoe and a flash port, sync port there. Provision to fit a motor wind. Now I do have a motor wind in the shape of the Auto Winder G, which does sit, or the camera sits on the auto winder, and just have to line up and if we can, then we just screw the winder on. This, I think it's 2 frames a second, lightning fast, but interesting to have a little bit of a stand there, so that helps to keep it stable. So it certainly looks the part, doesn't it? Okay, so let's see how we get on with that Minolta XG2, and that is camera number 318 of 365.